But in theory, it could be a couple of rounds.
I have a hard time with this because different ships move at different speeds.
That is a great observation, and I hadn't actually considered that. So I mean, there's always the thing that you can always go back to the 50. But I mean, the idea that I had with this, the reason for it being this random number as opposed to a set number, actually kind of took that into consideration in that I was thinking as opposed to just being a certain distance from the ship, a certain amount of time would have elapsed. And this would take into account either ships banking or moving or trying to get away from somebody or changing their vector. So it could actually be more time than if you had to be 50 spatial units away from something. Just an idea.
Maybe factoring the ship's speed in to adjust, to make modifiers to the roll.
Oh, I like that. So, See, it would have to be an inverse number because the higher the speed... See, I could go with this. Oh, wait a minute. No, let me give this more thought. I'll revisit this one. I like it.
So talking about ships, character points, per the rule book, character points can't be spent to augment the hull to resist damage. Now, I get it because it's separate from a skill usage from the pilot, but the ship is indeed an extension of the pilot. Don thinks that character points should be allowed to augment it. Pilot may spend up the character five character points to augment the soak.
I pretty much went with that. Yeah.
My side of this is no. The hull is the hull. If it was a person, it's one thing. Augment a damage roll, yeah. Augment a repair roll, yeah. Augment shields, yes. But if the ship's hit, the ship's hit.
That's it. I'm done. I quit. I'm out of here. Daniel disagrees with me. Nah, just joking. This is the part of the show that really kind of gets interesting when Daniel is obviously wrong, and I need to explain to him why he's right.
Why I'm wrong, and then he has to explain to me why I'm right.
Oh, yeah. You know what? You insert your reality, and I'll insert mine, and we'll all be happy. Basically, what I came up with this, the idea I came up with it was that the pilot, and only the pilot, can spend character points to increase or help with a soak roll when it comes to being hit by weapons. And the reason I decided on that was a couple of reasons. First of all, it's an extension of the pilot. I mean, it's almost like like a person using guns. It's really, I don't know. It sort of comes down to being a game master decision, but it just seems to me that it's like, you're allowed to do it. It's one of the very few times that you use a skill that you can't use anything to augment it. It's completely out of your hands. I don't know. I can see it both ways. I'd like to play test it, kind of see what it's gonna, how it works out. But I don't have a problem with that. Daniel, you can continue to be wrong.
But see, I'm not understanding your reasoning behind it. How can somebody augment a hull? Are they going to be outside of the ship, hammering away with extra plating?
No, I thought of it more as they were able to just yank on the control yoke and sort of deflect the damage maybe a little bit better. I mean, the same argument can be made about a character making a soak roll and augmenting that. How is he augmenting his ability to soak the roll from an E-web weapon? Well, did he just soak it? Did he twist at the right time? Was he able to blunt some of the impact and stuff like that? To me, that sounds a lot like what you're doing with a ship. You angle it, you try and get the energy weapons to bounce off or do less damage.
Oh, I can take that to the next level, by the way. I can't see a character spending character points to take something that's off scale of them, like an E-web, a single blaster bolt from a rifle, carbine, pistol. I can see adding to the soak of that.
Mm-hmm.
because that's a single bolt that's designed to take a person out. There could be something that happens there. With an E-web, that's lots
Okay.
of, that's lots
Perhaps my choice was wrong. He shot with a blaster pistol then.
Okay. See, now that I can see, because a character or the shot can hit a piece of armor or not a vulnerable spot.
Exactly. Same thing of a ship. He moves the ship so that it angles better, or deflects off a bigger hunk of armor, or
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
No. Okay. All right. We choose to disagree. But I tell you what, if you guys want this to keep going, you send your ideas about this. You tell Daniel that he's wrong and that Don's right. You send those messages.
Will you go and tell them about how you statted up a GS 100?
Actually, I didn't. It's a Gallifrey Yards GS 100 salvage ship. It was originally posted on the Ranker Pit forums. I can't remember what it was, why I picked it up, but it was just kind of unique. And when I looked at it, I just, I thought they were great stats. I thought it was something that could be used in a game. So I just added some pictures, some flavor text, fleshed out some of the details. The actual original poster, and again, I'm unclear if these are his stats or if he got them from somebody else, but the person who posted it was Raven Red Star.
Okay. And Don even made a nice little picture of it using the stills from the Clone Wars series.
I did indeed. I've got skills. Don's got skills!
Speaking of his skills, he found the answer to a question that had bothered him for some time. While using a force point, do you double the skill attribute before or after the multi-action penalty?
Uh-huh. Inquiring minds want to know.
Make it singular.
Okay, my mind wants to know.
Referring to the 2nd edition revised and expanded, page 134, column 2, using the example of concentration, Luke's player declares that Luke is also spending a force point to accomplish the task this round. Luke's starship gunnery skill is 6D. He loses a die for doing one other thing in the round, which is using the force. It reduces his starship gunnery skill to 5D. Because he rolled successfully for his control, he receives the bonus of plus 4D, making his effective skill for that round 9. Because he's spending a force point, his skill level gets doubled to 18 die.
This is where I drop the mic and storm off stage. Done. But anyway, I tell you what, I can't remember. I think, who was it I think I got a message from somebody who said that they thought that actually had been changed in a piece of errata that I have not read yet. But that's what it says as the rules as written. So that's what I'm going with, and Tachon, definitely.
Yes, definitely. That's something else, too. We need to find an aggregate set of errata.
We might actually have to go off and do that ourselves, because if I remember correctly, I do believe that floating out there, I think, is like a 2-page errata. But I just don't remember it very well off the top of my head. I just kind of remember seeing it. And it might have actually been maybe some upgrade information between 1st and 2nd edition. I might have the two things mixed up. Now, another thing this week, seeing as I was tooling around Ranker forums, there were 3 new location write-ups that got posted to the G Plus community. And I went ahead and posted them. I know that they were old for Ranker Pit, but I thought they were new, and I was trying to give them as much saturation or get them out to the masses so they can use them. And the write-ups were Roscoe's, which is a Starfighter jock bar run by retired jocks themselves, set during the New Republic era, and that was created by D-Hawk. A unique other place, I guess, it's called the Soggy Bottom, which is a colorful underwater bar on Mon Calamari. That was created by Guardian A, and also created by Guardian A, and I like this one a lot, is Grog's Gut Truck. It's a food truck run by a foodie Hutt and his serving droid in the back alleys of Coruscant. I loved it. I was just like, oh, that's just too awesome.
But it makes you wonder, what's really in that taco?
Oh, my God. Don't even start. Hey, I got one for you, Daniel. What do you think about capping the number of actions a character can declare? I mean, for like example, say one action for every full D in dexterity.
I don't like it.
Why?
It takes away from the character's freedom. As long as they've got die to be able to, as long as they've got enough, you cut it down to where you're down to one die, they can still throw an action to me.
Okay. I don't know. It was an idea I was kicking around. I thought I'd ask you about
it. you just leave it at that.
Well, it's just I don't got anything for it. I was just kind of curious what people thought.
It might be worth a try.
Well, I've got one or two groups that I'm running right now. Maybe I can run a play test in one of them.
Exactly. There were on the cargo warehouse search list and random tables. There's small areas where some interesting D100 tables that were posted by Matt over the Ranker Pit. I like it, as a matter of fact. It gives your characters a chance to get in there and dig out some stuff. I actually have a table of junk. I can roll if I ever do anything like that.
Well, I have two tables of junk, so there.
Oh.
So when are you going to post this table of junk, Daniel?
It wasn't mine. I actually pulled it from another person on the NG Plus.
Oh, okay. Well, you have to get that to me sometime.
Okay.
All right. Tell you, I have 5 groups that I'm running right now. In fact, we just added another Star Wars Adventures Thursday morning tabletop. And one of the questions that has come up has been a suggestion of drawing weapons, setting a weapon to stun, kill, or reloading a weapon. By the rules, requires a single action. But what about allowing them to be used as a reaction maneuver? A free reaction maneuver. So it's a free action for the turn, but you have to pay the multi-action penalty. Heavy sigh from Daniel. He's thinking.
Yeah, smoke's coming out of my ears and everything concerning this one.
You don't like this one at all. No. It's okay, brother. I got thick skin.
Well, see, there's something else, too, that we have to factor in as surprise.
Yep, I agree.
I would say reaction would be used as a surprise, but if they're not surprised, the multi-action penalty wouldn't apply.
I'm not quite sure I follow that. See, my thinking was that, say that you're in the middle of a negotiation or something like that, or let's say that you're doing a non-combat action, okay? And somebody, you have the option, you've got 2 actions that round. You do the action, the first action in the first, you do your first action, the first action of the round. Anyway, by the second one, you can actually, instead of doing your second action, you can actually use this as a reaction skill, take the multi-action penalty, draw your weapon, and shoot it. Kind of like Han Solo-ish. I don't know. I see it both ways. Unfortunately, by the rules as they're written, the person would have to actually eat up that last action of the 2 and then be able to fire at the beginning of the next round.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just flavor.
Of course. Well, that's what we're trying to do here. Garkle from the Ranker Pit writes, say your party gets captured and tortured. Sadistic, and rather than harm the player, he harms someone else while asking questions. Would the person refusing to speak gain a dark side point? If the truth is already known and they're getting tested, or if they're getting tested to see if they lie? No.
I am categorically behind Daniel on this. Absolutely not. In fact, I would almost go so far as to say that's a heroic thing.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, but I mean, the thing I do like about this scenario or this idea is it gives a great opportunity to role play. The person should be sort of torn role playing wise, what to do. But this would be a great opportunity for the dark side to tempt somebody as well.
Yes, definitely.
The only person that gets hurt if you call on a dark side point is you, and you're protecting that person, and you will take a bad person out if you use it. Do it. Do it.
And then he follows up with this question. What damage would you give to someone on a torture rack?